All right, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna do a quick little aside video too. And I'm going to tell you 5 tips that I've learned from sweeping the beach in my first couple months on the beach. And by the way, these are going to be in no particular order. It's just kind of going to be some stuff that I've observed. So number 1, and this kind of applies anywhere in metal detecting, you want to go where people have been, but you also want to look for places where people don't want to go. So let me explain. I found a couple of pretty good items today, and most of them have been at spots where there's seaweed, where there's, you know, an obstruction that is movable, or it's in a spot where there might be some rocks that you kind of got to dig around, that maybe somebody tried and just gave up. And inevitably that's going to be the good stuff. So that's my first tip: go places that other people don't want to go, within reason, of course. And then number 2, okay, anyway, number 2, don't get stuck in patterns too badly. So something I've noticed with myself is I like to get up by the bank and stay there, and when I do that, I'm missing a good chunk of beach, right? Like a good chunk of beach. So yeah, make sure that you're moving around the beach, especially because even in beaches like this where maybe, you know, there's not a whole lot of swimming going on, during the, oh my god, look at that, during the sandcastle, can you tell I have ADHD? During the sandcastle competitions, people are out here and they're doing stuff. I think a good testament to that is all the spoons that I found at the start of this video. I believe that those are used to make you know, to make the sandcastles, or I don't know exactly how they do it, but I assume the spoons factor into it because I'm not the only one who has found copious spoons around here. Some dog shit there, that's very nice. Okay, so yeah, how many was that? We had the don't go where people don't want to go, don't get in patterns. But yeah, anyway, I don't think I did. I think I got on the spoon thing about the patterns. Don't stick in patterns. So number 3, how do I put this? You got to keep in mind what a good spot looks like today on the beach. A week ago, or definitely a month ago, might have been entirely different. So what I'm thinking of here is like these trees and stuff, and this is going to be pretty common on every beach. You're going to have, you know, stuff that comes in, gets stuck, might get pulled away eventually, that, you know, become basically like natural obstacles on the beach, and stuff is going to get stuck in there. And maybe at one point one of these crappy areas was a beautiful area, and lots of people sat out here and dropped lots of stuff. I think that's likely what happened with that little bit of old pocket change that I found today. So yeah, that's my next tip. Don't discount a spot on the beach just because it doesn't look as good as another spot, because another day those roles might be reversed. All right, that's 3. I got to think up 2 more. I had them, but I lost them. Okay, so number 4, if you're a beach or wherever you go, really, this doesn't necessarily have to be a beach thing. I'm going to try to give you a more beach-oriented one in the last tip. But if the beach or wherever you go is historic, see if there's resources around, like books or pictures or whatever, that tells you what people used to do at that place, where they used to hang out, and focus on the spots that maybe today people don't hang out there. And you know, especially if you're looking for old stuff. If you're looking for drop stuff, maybe that won't be a good tip. But yeah, old resources are some of the best kept secrets in metal detecting, in my opinion. I found an old PDF somebody uploaded from the Halifax archives about Martinique Beach, and it gave me tips on some of the areas where I found, you know, I've been the most productive on Martinique. So old resources, great thing for a beach. And the last tip that I have for you is going to be more beach specific. So let me just think about how I want to word it. Here's an aside tip. If you're just starting out metal detecting, don't do this. I'm not sure this was a metal detector, to be honest with you. Might have just been a kid or something. There does seem to be like bucket shapes in it. But yeah, if you're, you know, kids get a pass. But if you're a metal detector, fill these in behind you. I know most of us do, but just in case you didn't know, fill it in. Okay, and I've been kind of waiting for an example for tip number 5. But tip number 5 is going to be learn what you're looking at the beach. And I know that that's terribly generic and probably not exactly what you want to hear. You probably like something more specific. But what you got to learn to look for is telltale signs that, you know, maybe something got dropped here, or maybe at some point in the really recent future the sand was moved around in this area and it got shuffled around, and yeah, because something that I didn't know before I started this metal detecting journey was just how much stuff travels in the sand. And I promise you it does. A lot of the stuff that I find, maybe this was metal detectors, because yeah, it could have been, because there's like metal streaks in there. Not cool. But anyway, now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I can't believe, like, it's almost hard to believe how much the ocean moves stuff around, because you'll find, look, I guess he found that. What an asshole. You'll find stuff in pockets, and sure, some of the stuff like change might have got dropped all in a, you know, a nice little bundle, but you find some stuff and it's just like, that definitely got carried here by the tide in turbulent waters. And I think that's going to include change and even like rings and stuff with the ability for buoyancy, basically. You know, if it's got a hole in the middle of it, there's a possibility a current can take it. So yeah, those are my 5 quick tips for searching the beach and finding stuff. Hope you enjoyed it.
Shaner in the kitchen.